Hello friend, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you something new that I have that you guys have been asking for like years. I finally have my Cursive worksheet set done for you, and before I get into it and share all the details with you, I did want to point out that for the launch weekend, I will have this worksheet set on sale for 50% off. So that's usually the biggest discount I have on a single worksheet set. I like to do that over launch weekend just to say thank you for all of your support. So if you are wanting to grab the Cursive worksheet set, then now is definitely the time, but let me go ahead and show you what I have inside. So I took your feedback for this worksheet set and made some changes to my typical format of worksheets. And so I'm going to go over those details with you, and then I'll show you some hand lettering with these, and I will link it all in the description box below for you. So for starters, I asked you guys if you wanted an upright or a slanted cursive style. Now, honestly, this was like 50-50. And I get it because I couldn't decide between the two of them either. So I decided to start with the upright style just because I feel like it is a little bit more modern and it's one that's a little bit harder to find. So I thought that it would be a good one to start with. And then the next thing that I asked you guys is if you wanted more words on your pages. So here's the thing. I typically do a full page of letters and then I will do 101 practice words. And I love that format, but it is a lot of practice. And so I wanted to know if you guys would rather just do drills like A over and over again, or if you'd rather do it a few times and then jump right into words. And you overwhelmingly said that you guys wanted more words. And so this is the format for the first style that you will receive. And let me just show it to you right here. We have our uppercase letter, our lowercase letter, 2 lines of each, and then I have 4 lines of words down here. So I have typically 3 lines that are just lowercase and then a few words with the uppercase at the bottom, so you can practice both. And I thought that not only would this help you to get like real life practice in how these letters may go together, because these are hand lettered, I don't use a font. I wrote out these words one at a time, and so sometimes the letters change a bit depending on what letter you have next. You can see the A ends differently here than it does here, and then it does here. And so I hope that's really helpful for you to have more everyday practice in how you may use these in words. And I also thought it would just be kind of a fun format to go through. This page is not going to hopefully take hours and hours, as it may if there were like 100 A's on the page. And so I hope that this is just a little bit more of an enjoyable experience for you as you go to practice. However, if you are wanting some extra practice, I also did put a second file in where I did just letters. So you'll have half of the page of uppercase and half of the page of lowercase. And so the listing has 2 different files that you'll download. One is this one, and then one is this one. And so if you're like, no, I was one of the people that didn't want all the words, then you still have this option as well. I will say that I did not really do the math before I did this. So typically I do 101 practice words, but as I was creating this, and as it took me so much longer than it normally does, I realized that doing it this way equals out to be a lot more than 101 words. So I hope that you enjoy that extra practice. So out of curiosity, I went back and I did count how many words I had here. And I believe, as long as I counted correctly, I believe it's 376 words. So that definitely makes sense why it took so much longer to hand letter all of these words. And so I just want to point that out because this isn't something that you're going to go through super quickly. It took me a really long time to hand letter all of these words. So I did want to point that out because while I love adding a lot of extra words practice, I don't want you to think you have to like do it all in one sitting or something like that. I simply wanted to add those because you guys voted, and that is what you said you wanted me to add to this worksheet set. So I hope it's really helpful for you, but also don't think you need to do it super quickly. Now, one thing I want to point out is the difference between hand lettering and cursive. So this is a modern upright cursive style. Some of the letters are not quite the same that you may have seen in a super old style of cursive, but they are pretty common, I think, today. However, I wanted to point out one difference in writing in cursive, and I'm going to show you this as I practice and I show you my hand lettering with these worksheets. But this is something I specifically wanted to point out because it goes against what I teach when it comes to hand lettering. So one of my biggest tips when you are doing hand lettering, especially with a brush pen, is to lift up your brush pen after every stroke. This helps me to get super clean lines. It helps my spacing, it helps my sizing, it helps my strokes to look really nice and clean. However, it's a really slow process. And when you're using cursive, it's actually kind of like a shorthand, so you're not going to try to take tons of extra time when you're writing in cursive. So if you just really like this style and you want to learn it with how you do hand lettering, you want to lift up your pen after every stroke, that's completely fine. But I did want to point out that the way that I created this is that I'm not lifting up my pen after every stroke. And so just to me, I think that's one of the biggest differences with cursive and hand lettering is hand lettering, you're slowing down, you're looking at one stroke at a time. In cursive, you're really writing a little bit more quickly and efficiently, and you don't have to write super fast or scribble or anything like that. But when it comes to writing in cursive, the goal isn't necessarily to like slow down and relax and take it super slowly and kind of create this work of art. It's okay if you want to be a little bit more efficient too. So just keep that in mind as you're going through these, that your letters and sizing might look a little bit different as you go through if you're not lifting up that pen, and that's completely okay. So again, I'm going to link all of this in the description box below for you, and if you are interested, just make sure to grab it before the 50% off sale is over. You don't need a code or anything. I will just change it in the shop. That way nobody accidentally misses a code. So another thing that I asked for your feedback about was whether or not you wanted like a full curriculum where I like show you step by step how to write each letter, or if you just wanted practice worksheets. And again, it was pretty overwhelming that you guys just wanted practice worksheets. I think that by this point, a lot of us are pretty familiar with a scripted alphabet. Even if you have never formally practiced cursive, a lot of the letters are very similar. And so I went with what you guys recommended and just did the practice worksheets, which is actually what I would have picked as well, because a lot of the cursive instruction in cursive workbooks is just super basic. And I thought that if we've been writing for a little while, even if it's just been script writing, a lot of the exercises that may be recommended, like, you know, doing C's and O's and things like that, might not be super relevant for us as adults. But I did want to point that out just in case you were wondering, because I know I asked that either here or over on Instagram. So thank you guys so much for your feedback. It's super helpful. And I hope that it has helped me to create something that is exactly what you guys are looking for. So yeah, thank you so much. But please do let me know if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to see more up close. I'm happy to do another video before the sale is over if that's something that would be helpful for you. I will leave you here with a little flip through so you can see what's inside and what this style looks like. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.